Hello and welcome! This is my first makeup tutorial in a long time. I tried this years ago and it just did not work for me. So I've learned a lot of things in the years that have passed and I decided now is the time to try to start again. I've been wanting to make my own YouTube channel again for a long time. So now it's finally happening. I decided to just push forward and just get going on it because if not now, then when? You know what I mean? So if you want to know how to get this quick and easy fall makeup situation, then keep on watching. Okay, so we're starting with a bare face. First things first, I'm going to clip my hair back so that I don't get any product in my hair because sometimes that happens. That should be good. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with NYX's Pore Filler. To be quite honest, I'm not a huge fan of this because I feel like every time I open it, it just seems to explode onto my hands. I don't know if that's just this tube in particular or if it's something about this product that kind of comes out like chunky, but we're just gonna get going into it. And once again, it like exploded. So I'm just putting a tiny bit on my fingertips. I'm gonna rub those together and I'm just gonna concentrate on my T-zone here. Then you're gonna like pat it in a little bit so that it really gets into the pores. Cool. I recently decided to try Estee Lauder's Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. I so far am super into it. First, what I'm gonna do is shake it just a tiny bit, make sure that nothing has settled, and I'm going in with a damp beauty blender. Since this doesn't have a pump on it, what I've been doing is I'll just take the tiniest bit and just pour it on the beauty blender. I'm just going to pounce this into my skin all over and might go in for some touch-up like areas just to make the coverage a little bit more full. Okay, so now that I feel really good about this base, I'm gonna move into some concealer. So really all I'm gonna do is just a tiny bit under my eyes to brighten that up a little, and then a little bit here. Okay, and then actually today what I'm gonna do to prime my eyes, going back in with this concealer, which I'm using Nars in Light 1 Chantilly, which if anyone's interested, that means whipped cream. A lot of people will be like at restaurants wondering, what the heck is Chantilly? I have no idea. Well, it's whipped cream. It's just a fancy way of saying that. I'm just gonna go in with my ring finger, which is the gentlest of your fingers, so you're not gonna do any damage to your eyes. I'm just gonna pat that in. Now that that's all set, I'm gonna let that air dry real quick and I'm gonna go in and do my brows real fast. I have pretty full brows as it is, so I don't really feel like I need to draw them. I use Milani Stay Put Brow Shaping Gel and it's so easy to use. I just basically brush up and all this really does is kind of darken my brows. Basically just helps shape them a tiny bit, but I feel like already they're pretty much there, so I'm not too picky about making them super huge. Okay, so there you have it. Eyebrows are done, super quick and easy. I also feel that with the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place foundation, I really don't even have to worry about setting because it stays so well. I'm gonna go in with this NYX Highlight and Contour Pro palette. Just gonna casually dip, brush in there, tapping off the excess. Brush, I'm just gonna go up a little bit into my temple area. A lot of times you'll hear people referring to this as creating a 3 shape on your face. So that means you're just starting at your hairline and then creating a little bit of like this bronzed look that comes in here and then down your jawline a little bit too, so that it ends up creating a little bit more of an angular sort of look. It's so in right now. I'm gonna take my Sephora Pro Angled blush brush called Sheer Amourose or Amourose, and it's by Lancome. I just absolutely love this shade, so I'm just going to pat that on the apples of my cheeks and move that up into my hairline. Perfect. Okay, that works for me. Moving on to the eyes, I'm going to be using the Stunning Vibes Artistry Palette by Morphe. First, I'm going to be going in with a transition shade, which is called Go Nude. Tap my brush into it a tiny bit. I'm gonna tap it off and then destroy this frickin' transition. Next, Vixen. This slightly more taupe shade. So that I'll be putting right in the crease So really just starting at the edge here and kind of tapping it in. I have the most ridiculous setup right now. I don't know if you can tell in like the reflection of my mirror. I'm using my phone on literally a stack of cookbooks on a step stool. That's the life I'm living right now. But you gotta start somewhere, you know? And then pulling it down just the tiniest bit onto my lower lash line. Just keep blending. Now I'm just going to create a little bit of a shimmer look. I'm just gonna take this First Date, which is the second shimmer shade down, and you really don't need too much of this because it's actually pretty freaking shimmery. So I'm just gonna pop that on, tiny bit here, just create a little bit of a highlight, pop a little bit in the inner corner, just open those eyes up a tiny bit. Oh, so I just showed you like what setup I have currently with these books, and I've been sitting on my legs and they are legit asleep right now, so that's exciting. With the same Lancome flat brush, I'm actually going to take a shimmer shade, and I'm feeling French Kiss right now, so this shade right here, oh my god, my feet are starting to tingle so bad, oh god. And I'm just going to pack this on the lid. Okay, so there you have it, just a little bit of a shimmery shade on the lid itself. Alright, now next up is mascara. Just gonna pop on this real quick. It's called Big Ego by Tarte. I love Tarte mascara. This one I've been using for a little while, and actually I do love it, but my favorite I think is Tarteist. We're just going to coat this very carefully on the eyelashes. Might do a couple of coats just so we can get a really big lash because that is my favorite thing. And then taking the tip of the wand, we're just going to use that for the outer lashes because I have a hard time reaching those. And normally when I do my mascara, I'll go the classic underneath and up towards your brow. But then also sometimes you'll see some people doing, which I do too, I'll go up and then on my way back down, I'll coat the top of the lashes. So really a lot of the time too, I like to look down. So I'll be like looking at myself like this in the mirror, just so that I make sure that I'm getting as close to the lash line as possible without risking getting any product on my lids because I don't want to mess up the shadow look that I just did, because that would be tragic. Of course, this way you also have to make sure that you're not touching the top of your cheek too. So it's really very tricky. Okay, so off camera I just decided to finish up my mascara on both eyes, so I'm going to move on to lips and then this look will be finished. I'll just speed through the lip process. I have kind of funky lips, I feel like. Everybody has their own things that they're dealing with, right? But I feel like with my lips, you can kind of tell already that this side is a little bit bigger than this side. It's kind of made me a little insecure at times because it's not my favorite thing about my face, and I love lip stuff so much. So usually like putting a lip color on can be kind of tricky because it really ends up highlighting how this side of my lip is a lot fuller than this side for some reason. But we work with what we have, so I'm just going to line it to the best of my ability to try to make it as even as possible and then finish it with a liquid lip. What I'm going to be using is Milani True Red 02 to line, and then I'm going to fill in with Bare Minerals Naughty, which is a holiday edition from I think a couple years ago. But I really love it. It smells like cocoa powder, it's ridiculous, and then it goes on really smooth, it's kind of hydrating, and it's a really nice, soft, subtle, matte color. Then I think the lips are done. Might just pop on a really small amount of highlighter just to be really fancy. I use Laura Geller Gilded Honey. It's this really nice, subtle, glowy golden shade. I'm just gonna swirl that in the product really casually, tap a tiny bit. I'm just gonna swish that on the tops of my cheekbones so that they kind of pop out a little bit more. So now that the highlighter is done, everything's all good, I'm just going to use this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist Spray, just make sure everything stays in place throughout the rest of the day. Just give that a little shake. I'm going to hold my breath, close my eyes, and then give it a nice spritz. Okay, I'm going to straighten my hair real quick and get changed. Be right back. Okay, so hair is straight, clothes that are not sweats are on. This is the finished look. I hope you like it. This was a quick and easy fall makeup tutorial. It's my first one. I really hope that you come back for more. I've got a lot of ideas. I've got a lot of ambition. I'm really trying to make this into a thing finally because really I just love doing this. Filmmaking was my major. I love makeup so much. I love creativity. Number one, I hope that this makeup tutorial is helpful for you, but then also, if anything, I hope that you're inspired to start something that you've been wanting to start for a while. Sometimes we don't know how to start and we drag our feet and whatever. I mean, I'm a perfectionist. I have a hard time just jumping into something because I want it to be perfect and I want to make sure that I don't fail. But sometimes we're not perfect, and sometimes we do fail a little bit, but it's not necessarily failure, it's just learning. I really hope to continue making these videos. I have a plan in mind, and I'm gonna try to stick to that. So if you wanna hang around and see what else I create and see how I try to push myself, then please subscribe and like this video. Let me know what you'd like to see, and I will get on making those videos, because now is the time. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.